Another day, another chance, another win. Today I'm discussing to you all about something that I've been making use of all along. It's been like the journey, it's pretty much like the last step to my blog. And in this video, we'll be discussing, summer notes. Pretty much the last piece of the jig puzzle, for my blog. And then, yeah, that's what I need to go over. So let's get to this, man. Let's get to the money. So chapter 14. So before I start, I just want to introduce you all to my navigator Savas. Hello Savas, how you doing, navigator? Yeah, it's my navigator. So yeah, introduce you to him. So yeah, let's get to this and let's go, man. So yeah, without further ado, let's do this. So chapter 14, adding a WYSIWYG editor. So currently I'll create blog post forms as a plain text form. We'll now add a what you see is what you get, you know. So that's what a WYSIWYG it means. So what you see is what you get editor for use to format his blog post in exactly the style you want it to do. So we'll make use of a nice HTML editor, HTTPS summerNode.org that we can catch to our blog post form. To embed the editor in our create post form, go through the instructions at yada yada HTTPS summerNode getting started for Bootstrap 4. In it, there's an example of how to embed the editor into your page. First, you copy the following lines in the header of our page. Script source scripts, src, HTTPS, or beta, like href, so on and so forth. So let's head over there now. I'm on now. So as you can see here, I got my headers, title, super clean blog, bootstrap, core, CSS. Then you got the link href, vendor, bootstrap.min, CSS. If locals create post ampersand create post, include summer node CSS JS, custom fonts for this template, custom styles for this template, so on and so forth. So that's what I pretty much got. So I'm just importing all the bootstraps responsible for my summer nodes, to pretty much embed the editor in our create post form. So then recall that our header specified in views layout header.egs, which include all other pages. Thus, we should add the above in header.egs. But if we do so, the script will be available to all pages, which would be unnecessary at all over time. So we should run the script as usual only to page to create a post, i.e., create EJS. To do so, in control this new post, we add an additional boolean create post which is set to true in new post .js. Hope you're following along, Savas. So as you can see here, create post true. So this is the boolean that we assign. That is create post only exists and equals true when the user visits the router's post new. In views layouts header.ejs, we add if to check if create post defined and is true, then we include the related summer node. So as you can remember, I had the problems actually at first, but I'll go over them just now. And you can see if locals create dot post ampersand create post. So we got an if statement there. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what you pretty much have. So ID equals body script, placeholder tab size height, script Now when you go to create post page, someone node editor should appear because it's been assigned. I'll show you it just now. And after you visit other pages and see the page source code, some node scripts will not be there. Only in the create post page will the some node scripts be in this page source. Now you can create posts with various formats. Compiled CSS JS, the fastest way to get some nodes to download the precompiled and minified versions for CSS and JavaScript. No documentation or original source code files are included. So after the post submitted, however, the post still doesn't appear formatted well. This is because we have not told the templating engine to format the content as HTML instead of text. To tell EJS to render the content as HTML instead of text, in views.post.ejs, specify as shown below. So yeah, that's pretty much what you need to specify just to format it as well, to render the document well. So blog post.body. So we add a what you see is what you get editor for create blog post form. You form the blog post in the manner a user wants it referred to. HTTPS github.com gremlin 81 express chapter 14 for the source code of this chapter. Alright, so yeah, we did that. So that's pretty much what we do. And then you go to my index.js. So yeah, that's what we have. As you can see here, our console log is, I'll go over that just now. I just need to like debug, my index.js. So I'll just do that now, my JavaScript just now. So we got variable express equal to require express. Const mongoose equals to require mongoose. Mongoose.connect, MongoDB, localhost my database, use new URL parser true. Variable app EJS, resource usage. So require const file upload. So we're just importing, actually, you know, why won't I? Why not just, use ChatGPT? Pretty much, oh, damn, no. Just add comments to my code. It's we've got variables, global responses. That's what you pretty much have. I'm just waiting on this thing, man. Come on. You're feeling me now, ChatGPT. So you got a variable to require express, require mongoose, right? That's what they have, and then you connect to MongoDB. Use new URL parsers no longer required in mongoose, but keeping it won't break anything. So mongoose that connect using your URL parser, true. So here's our server, the server that you're gonna make use of for MongoDB campus, to pretty much connect to our campus, because what it does is it's our storage query. Yeah, it's pretty much like a store queries. That's what it is. It's just an app store queries. So every time I make a user, I got this. I pretty much got these that get made. That's pretty much what I have here. Yeah, so that's what I have. And then then I got my variables here, new express require. So these are pretty much, middleware, connect flash, so on and so forth, express file upload, validation middleware, express session, so on and so forth. Everything I'm gonna be making use of, you know, that's what I have. Then this sets the view engine to EJS templates, view engine EJS, so embedded JavaScript templates, global variable, keep track of logged in users for views, serve static files, CSS, images, JS, and etc. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have. And then this is pretty much use strict. This is pretty much, the serve static, all the code that we're making use of, the root code that we have here. Our serve static, that's what it is. And then we pretty much have our responses, serve static files, CSS images, what it parses to read, JSON, form data, app.use, express.json, app.use, express.url encoded, send the true, extended, recommended, enable file uploads, use blog post images, app.use file upload, validation middleware, restoring posts, configure sessions required for login, keyboard cat and flash messages, correct password, middleware that runs on every request and stores logged in users ID globally, helps store everything that we have in our MongoDB campus, then starts the server, our controllers get imported, they're control the paths that we have in our app get imported into our core server, routes, homepage, view a single blog post by ID. New post form must be logged in. Process stores new post. Registration page handles new user registration form login page. Handles fallback routes, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what we have there. So we debug that thing. As you can see here, these are the users that I created. This is actually content log for the session that I had when I actually entered actually logged into my app. So let me just, debug it for you here. So let me just log out first just to demonstrate. Savas, I hope you're paying attention to this, man. So this blog is going to be up on my new beginnings live post by unknown user on Friday, November 14th, 2025. And here's my older posts, all the blogs and stuff like that. So that's what I have. So menu, I don't need creating user, already got users. As you can see here, my users have been stored here on my SQL. They've been stored here, so I got an object ID for. The reason why we got object IDs is because we pretty much set an authenticator for our codes, right? So that we can have distinct, codes. As you can see here, the object IDs are different. They're pretty much differentiated from each other. So ID, object ID, object ID, so pretty much different, object ID. So Kabelo 385, Kabelo the next boy, it's pretty much like different IDs. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have. And then as you can see here, cookie path expires now. Original max age now, HTTP only, then our boolean true. So this is just like an indicator condition, rather condition that we have, So username, Kabelo 385, as it's one of the IDs that I have on my SQL. To Z. And as you can see here, it says logged in. As you can see, I've logged in. Hence, this option. So log out, then new post, right? So without further ado, as you can see here, there's no throttling because I know I've been saying this over and over again, but let me see it again. No throttling because it's uncapped, so we don't need to minimize the amount of data we can make use of. So here you go, no throttling, right? Don't need to minimize anything. And then new posts. As you can see, summer notes is present here. So we got, header 1, header 2, and here it is summer note posts, a bit of style, right? And then I'm gonna have brought to you by summer notes. And then if I want to make it bold, that open sans, choose between the different, different fonts, right? then choose File. Let me pick out this let me pick this file out. Send. Then start Bootstrap. That's pretty much what I got. Then summer node posts, Gabler style, then HT span style font weight normal. Let me access this thing. And as you can see here in the background, you can see the posts, the photo that I actually, hinted at, that I actually downloaded. So summer node posts, Gabler style. And then here's the specifications of what I used. H2 span style font weight, normal fonts family, and quote Times New Roman, quote underline. So these are the different stylings that I use for a post. Then posted by W385. So that's a profile that I logged in with, as you can see here. And then summer posts, W style. My post brought to you by Summer Notes. And then that's pretty much what I've got here. What I have. And then start Bootstrap. So So that's how you use Summer Notes. But let me, out of curiosity's sake, let me just see here what can happen here. Or it's just a video that I can insert. The link. So as you can see here, expands and piece expands, then does the opposite, minimizes and expands. So as you can see here, my session, the session where I log in, cookie path expires now. So my server will never expire. Original max age now, HTTP only true. So there's my boolean. So HTTP only, hypertext. Wait, hold on. yeah, So HTTP. Yeah. Hypertext. Transfer protocol. So So that's the boolean condition for hypertext. Hypertext transfer protocol. Then the cookies for it. So the cookies pretty much, the stuff that I tracked before or used before. So as you can see, I got my these are pretty much where I got my cookies from, my SQL. So where I get my cookies from. And then you got my user ID. This is where my user ID is. So user ID, right, 69LE20. So yada yada yada. So that's my user ID. So the authentic the authenticity of my different profiles is pretty much based on my user ID. So that's what it's pretty much based on. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that I can elaborate on except this is so fun actually. My summer note thing is so fun. Like that, it's very fun, very fun. My summer notes, yeah. So yeah, and then there's my local serve static. You know, then what you see as the different apps that are being made use of every time you go to a different view or page. So those are the apps that are made use of. Choose file, no file chosen, and then yeah, it's pretty much what we need to go over. Title, choose file, home, log out. So the authentications that we went over is actually a condition in which you can only access your stuff, only access your middleware, only if you log in. So this is an if else statement. So if you don't have request.session user ID, then return authorized login. Then comes user dot find by ID. So if you don't have a user, return authorized login. Then catch error, return restart direct authorized login. So in order for us to make use of our models that use and so on and so forth, order to like post stuff, we need to be logged in. So that's what I need to go over. So that's what I need to go over. So where's the authorized login? So you need to log in first before you can create a new post. Then new user, validation errors, flashes, so on and so forth. Log out, log in, where's that render login? So you need to renderize everything, just render the functionality for it. And you import the render, port, and then log out. Request that session that destroy along the parameter for equals to or greater than rest direct. Then yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what we have. I mean, there's nothing else that I can go over or elaborate on. Obviously, the different apps that you can see, status 304, that means it's not modified. 200, that means it's okay, even though it's been modified, but still okay. Let me log in again. Okay. Oh, log in, different apps, pending. My home JPG, things was pending, and now it's been saved. There's pretty much nothing else that I can go over except, except asking this one question to my navigator. So, Vice, anything that you want to elaborate on? No? Right, no problem, bro. No problem, man. So, yeah, thank you very much. Till next time, take care of this, and yeah, I'll pretty much see you next time. Thank you.